September, Tuesday. Well, it's been a long time. I'm now in high school, though I hardly look much different. I did lose all my hair though. Roderick still lives with us and has gone on gigs with his band. Mom and dad charge him rent, though he always pays up. I can get the rest of it to you tomorrow, don't worry. High school's too boring for me to focus well. I became a super, except it's way overrated. I'm stronger than all of the monsters, so every fight is over in one punch. Worst is, I don't get paid. I figured someone would reach out and send me checks for every monster I kill. It's a long story. I guess I trained harder than I had to. Within months, I became strong enough to where there was zero danger to what I was doing. You must be wondering why I became a hero. Well, lately, all over the world, there's been monsters just around every corner. Nobody knows why. Generally, every monster has a different type of origin or cause for existing. Some people doubt the theory that all monsters are connected in any way, and some people have extremist views on the matter. I think Uncle Gary is the Antichrist, so calling him Mr. K, guys. Personally, I don't care what the cause is. Leave it to some dark detective or whatever. Truthfully, Manny's basically what kickstarted me becoming a hero. One day it was just me and Manny home alone. Everyone had work or some errand. All of a sudden, some monster was charging over the town. Manny was playing in the front yard when the monster was about to ram into him. Manny can be a bit much sometimes, but I sure as heck wasn't gonna like seeing him get torn apart and have his remains splattered. So I just acted and took Manny as I ran out like hell. Ah, help! Greg, help! That ended up peeing off the bull monster. I bought Manny enough time to get away. He rushed out of there, except I was cornered, and realistically I should have died there. That beast literally tore through entire cars, but somehow I panicked and it was enough to kill that beast. I did it. I actually did it. It was a blur the whole time. Everything went at 100 times speed. Almost didn't even notice my injuries. I just wanted to feel that rush again and again. I decided that if these monsters were gonna pop up all the time, maybe this could be a regular thing. So that's how I became a hero, for fun. Unfortunately, things didn't work out. I'm just too damn strong to get any excitement out of anything. I fought so many powerful enemies, but I get nothing emotionally. I just seem to get stronger than I need to be. Is that a bird? Oh, also, I mentioned that I'm bald now. It happened after all my training. I got decent muscles, but my lack of hair seems to cancel out any chances I get in girls. I went up to Holly Hills last I saw her. It was almost as bad as when she mistook me for Fregley. Are you a cancer patient? Girl. I guess there's one more thing. I haven't seen Rowley in forever. His house has been empty every time I went. It's not like I could file a missing persons report though. That's probably for the police to do. Anyways, the other downside is Fregley's been spouting out serious red flags lately. Inside now, my little brodies. Little buddies. So I started going to Rowley's house even less. I think I might even miss Rowley. The high school girls are torn apart over Rowley being gone. So all this time that he's gone could be missing out on the chance to shoot my shot with some of the girls that orbit Rowley. Wink wink. Ah! Thursday. What are the odds? I finally found Rowley again after all this time. Basically right after I wrote about him going off the grid. Apparently Rowley's a cyborg now. So the reason I hadn't seen Rowley was because his whole family got attacked by some monster. His parents are dead in case you're wondering. Rowley almost died, except it turns out his grandpa is a tech genius, so Rowley's grandpa made him a cyborg. Rowley also inherited his parents' home and all their money. Yo, you should buy a bigger TV, bro. We can play This is Wizard Deluxe on there, G. See, here's what happened. Mom sent me to Worley Street. That place seems to be a mecca for monsters now. So everything there is cheap. The rent, groceries, utilities. As I went to get milk, this monster, the Grout, attacked. I was gonna punch him because he was gonna wreck the grocery store. That's when Rowley showed up ready to face the Grout. He did decent, but Rowley let his guard down, so the Grout was about to finish him off. Then I leaped through the Grout. Oh, literally leaped through the Grout. He died instantly. Though his remains got scattered, I even saw a big chunk land on and crush a car. It looked expensive, so I had to get out of there. Rowley got carried home by some drone. So I met up at his house, and that's how we got up to speed on each other's lives. So dad tried to lynch my uncle Gary. After playing Twisted Wizard on his TV, I called it a day. Friday. Well, it's been quite a day. Remember how I said I never got any paychecks, recognition, or women despite being a strong hero? Apparently, it's a hero association. What sucks is they don't acknowledge you if you're not signed up as an official member. So victory I claimed over Ramonsa has no existence in public records. The good news is Raleigh is not a member either, so at least Son's in the same boat. Shoot! Oh, also, Raleigh wants me to train him, be his sensei. Apparently, he was impressed by my fight with the Grout. That makes one of us. So now Riley wants me to train him so he can get stronger. See, the monster that killed his parents is still out there, so he needs to be strong enough to the point where there's no doubt he can kill it. I wasn't so sure. I don't even know how you train a robot. I needed time, so I told him if we both get approved by the Hero Association, I'll take him under my wing. Why not try to be Homelander's sidekicks instead? He's evil, Greg, and Omni-Man killed him already. Fine, I'll train you if we pass. That satisfied him. Oh well, here's hoping I get into the Hero Association. Maybe these guys are stronger than me. If so, then I could drop Rowdy off with one of them. Monday. Well, I'm technically a hero. I'm in a D class for now. Here's how it all went down. There was a huge turnout, so there was a huge brawl. People were hoping to cut down the competition. Some guys were approaching me and Rowley. Rowley was ready to fire Rocket, but that would probably just kill them. I doubt they would hire us then, so I just blew them. Oh, he literally blew them. Oh, pause. I'm sure they won't bother us now. Apparently for the physical, we had to fight this guy who was almost a strong hero, but then he gave up his power in a failed attempt to save some mass murderer. So now he was a training instructor who we had to defeat. He had a mech suit, but both me and Rowley defeated him easily. Yeah, I can't even show that for spoilers, man. Though we still had to do a written test. This was meant to assess how well we were doing in the field based on how we strategized. There was also basic math problems. The math made up 80% of the score, so things weren't looking too hot. Unfortunately, I got a perfect 0 on the written exam. I tried to argue that I actually knew all the answers, because the only way I could get them all wrong was by knowing which answers are right, like Miles Morales did in the Into the Spider-Verse. But for some reason, my grader hated Into the Spider-Verse. Peter Parker is Spider-Man, boy. Just shut it before you get me mad now. The hero ranks to S, A, B, and then C. But my score was so awful they made a new tier just for me, D class. In fact, they only took me in because my physical score was a record breaker, so they could use me for physical labor. Honestly, it sounded kind of sketchy. Oh, also, Riley's in S class now. He's at the bottom though, it's mainly because he's so new. Apparently there's 14 heroes in the S class, including Rowley. He got a perfect math score. According to my database, Greg, that math test was absolute bullcrap. Rowley was already good at math before, but I guess since he's a cyborg, it's basically a sixth sense to him now. You can move up your hero rank too. Since Rowley is in S class, he might get more cooler assignments. So if I stick close to him, I can show the Hero Association my worth. Greg Heffley, you're in charge. Gotcha, boss.
Are you sure?
So I guess I gotta do good on my end of the deal. I'll try to train Rowley though, I can't promise miracles. Wednesday. Well, couple of things to update. While I was thinking about how I could train Rowley, I had to consider how I trained. See, when I saved Manny from that bull monster, I didn't notice my pain immediately, so my first thought was to go off the phrase no pain, no gain. My training regimen was 10 hand raises, 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, and a walk around my house. Greg, just get up and grab it. That training felt like hell on earth, but I persisted. So within a month, my strength reached insane progress. Soon, I was the one-punch Greg. Still, I don't know how to apply that to Rowley. Unless his grandpa can create robot muscles that work the same. I didn't realize I didn't know everything Rowley could do. So I decided to take him out to spar so I could get a more complete picture on what he can do. We also went somewhere without any people. I told Rowley to give it everything he got and fight as he would to kill. Well, here's a basic rundown of the fight. Gotcha, Greg. What? Ugh, absolute miss out. Takes me back to the days when I watched One Punch Man. You're not recording any of this with your eyes, are you? Well, that was definitely informative. Still, I had no idea on how to train Rowley. Then it hit me. Maybe instead of physical training, he needed to train his mind. I mean, it's the only human part of Rowley left. So I just told him to get in touch with his human core and find joys in life. Heck, I can't even find fun in monster fights anymore. So if he can keep enjoying his hobbies, that's one error he's got over me. Yippee! Thursday. Well, I got my first official assignment, guys. I have to go to Hard Scrabble Farms. I hadn't been there since last time I was there. I sure don't miss it. Though, now I guess there's that shed only me and Dad know about. The red room is reserved for me and your mom. You better not come in there, you little cockblock. There wasn't much details besides the fact that I have to go if I want to receive my paycheck. Meanwhile, Raleigh has been summoned by the higher up since he's S-class. I can't go because my clearance is too low. Though maybe I can find a way to influence things. Greg Heffley was the one who ended King Ghidorah's life. Greg Heffley edged King Gonorrhea. Come on, Raleigh, you absolutely sold. Soon I made it to Hardscrabble Farms. Little had changed. Apparently the owners of Hardscrabble Farms own a huge amount of stock in the Hero Association. So I was basically sent as a favor. My steam went even lower when I saw that there was no other heroes. In fact, the only other people working seemed to be prisoners. I guess there were also some entry-level interns from the Hero Association to supervise me. Saturday. Well, just as I expected, I'm basically the Hero Association's little errand boy. Though it seems since I've last been here, this place has a high mortality rate. There were 87 prisoners sent to work here, but now it's gone down to 60. I was told not to leave my post, but my hero instincts tell me otherwise. Maybe if I get to the bottom of this, the Hero Association will have a change of heart. October, Tuesday. Well, a lot has gone down, so apparently Silas Scratchwood is still a big urban legend around here. That means I could camp out at the old shed. Though the legend has evolved, people pretty much just pin all of their disappearances and deaths on Silas. Weird, because I know Dad made it up himself, and I doubt he could kill hundreds of people in a few years. That just never struck me as someone who could do harm to anyone that isn't Uncle Gary or Joe. If you work out regularly, you can get big muscles. I know Mom pegs you, Dad. Well, I briefly considered maybe there's a bit of truth to the Silas theory. I kept exploring the woods and I was in complete shock. I found some of the Mingo kids. See, I thought they were wiped out. A couple years ago, the Mingo kids raided the capital. They actually succeeded, so for a few days, the Mingo clan took over the country. It was not a pleasant time at all. Meckley demands new photos of your moms. Eventually, the military regrouped and firebombed the entire clan. Since then, I never saw any of them. They never did recover Meckley's body though. I followed their trail, but unfortunately they stopped to play in some dumpsters. I then figured if I beat them up, someone would have to come looking for them. Maybe even Meckley. Funny enough, I did hear a rumor that Meckley became a zombie, so maybe the whole Silas theory makes more sense after all. I knocked them out, but no one came by to try to find them. I think 3 hours passed. I decided to just head back to the shed. Shoot, now that I'm writing this, I probably should have told my supervising intern. Friday. Well, there's some good news, some bad news. I'll just say it. Apparently all the prisoners weren't actually dead. In fact, nobody really died. Turns out the Mingo clan has been trying to rebuild and forcing new members. Hardscrabble Farms was an easy mark because it was near some woods and they utilized prison labor in the hundreds. To the Mingos, this was promising. It also turns out the rest of the clan was watching me but also keeping their distance, so they all came together to raid my shed. At the forefront of the attack was Meckley Mingo. He didn't look too far from what I guessed. His skin was all grey. Maybe he really was a zombie. There must have been hundreds of them, and there's some in prison outfits, though they weren't slowing down. I decided to clap my hands to knock out as many as possible. It's too powerful. Meckley stayed out of the range. He then started to speak. Leave now. To kill me, the government used experimental nerve gas. Now I feel nothing and my strength is greater than 100 grizzles. Did somebody just drop this pebble? You think you're trying to provoke me back, Normie boy? I'll show you how invincible I am. What? So with Meckley knocked out, the whole Mingo clan was no more for real. I was gonna tell my supervisor intern. That's when it all went downhill for me. Apparently not all the captured prisoners were part of the raid on my shed. Somehow word traveled fast enough so soon they knew Meckley was defeated. The only thing keeping the prisoners in check was Meckley. That meant they were free to ditch the Mingos and hardscrabble. We're free, boys! Come on, come on, come on! To celebrate, some prisoners went out of town to riot. No civilians got hurt, but there was a lot of property damage. Woohoo! Yeah, we're free! The only person I felt comfortable telling this to was Rowley. I'm glad I did too. Rowley told me according to my contract, which he reviewed for me, apparently as a D-class hero, if I leave on an active assignment, that's grounds for getting fired, investigated and sued. In fact, Rowley warned me that with the prisoners all escaping, the Hero Association might try to pin everything on me, since Hardscrabble has almost $250 million worth of stocks shares. I don't have that budget for a lawyer. What are you in for? One punch, man. Literally. This all meant I couldn't even help stop the prisoners' riot. So I just denied my way out of the situation.